If your truck is struggling to start or feels like it is running on half its usual power, you might be dealing with a low voltage signal from your fuel pressure sensor. The code P018C is a generic powertrain code that is particularly common on modern American vehicles from General Motors and Dodge. This code specifically points to the fuel pressure sensor B circuit being low, which usually means the computer is seeing a voltage that is way below the normal operating range. This sensor is a transducer, which is just a fancy way of saying it changes its internal resistance based on how much pressure is in the fuel rail. The powertrain control module sends a 5-volt reference signal to the sensor and then waits for a return signal to know exactly how hard the fuel pump should be working. When this circuit shorts to ground or the sensor fails internally, the computer gets confused and might put the vehicle into a limp mode to prevent engine damage. You will probably see the check engine light and experience a significant loss of throttle response. In some extreme cases, the car might not start at all because the computer does not think there is enough pressure to fire the injectors. To track this down, you should start with a visual inspection of the sensor and the 3 wires leading to it. Look for any pinched wires or loose connectors near the fuel rail. You will need a digital multimeter to check for that 5-volt reference signal with the ignition turned on. If you have 5 volts at the harness but the scan tool shows 0 volts, then the sensor is almost certainly the problem. You can also verify this by hooking up a mechanical fuel pressure gauge to the service port on the rail and comparing it to what your scanner says. If the mechanical gauge shows 60 pounds of pressure but the sensor says 0, you know that sensor has gone bad. If you find that there is no power coming from the powertrain control module at all, then you might be looking at a much deeper wiring issue or a faulty computer. If you are not confident testing electrical circuits, or if the fuel pump itself seems to be the source of the low pressure, it is time to call your local mechanic.